My name is Lyra, and I am a young mermaid. My mother always warned me never to swim beyond the safe waters, but I couldn't keep swimming in the same place forever. My older sister was free to explore wherever she wanted, so why was I different? One day, after making sure no one was watching, I decided to venture beyond my usual surroundings. I swam and swam, feeling the thrill of freedom, until I realized I had gone too far. The familiar waters were gone, and I had no idea how to find my way back home. Panic set in as I called for my mother, my sister, and my friends, but no one answered. Even when I sang our favorite song, there was no response. As I tried to figure out what to do, I noticed a human woman crouched by the river, filling a large clay pot with water. I quickly hid behind a floating leaf, but the waves betrayed me, sweeping me straight into the pot without her noticing. Before I could escape, she lifted the pot onto her head and walked away. I was trapped. Fear gripped me as she carried the pot back to her home. After some time, she set it down and began speaking in a language I didn't understand. Moments later, a little boy appeared and started playing with the water inside the pot. His mother scolded him, and he ran off, only to return with a small bowl. As soon as he scooped some water, I followed along with it. The moment he saw me, he gasped and flung the bowl away in shock. I tumbled onto the ground with a thud. At first, he was terrified, but curiosity got the better of him. He cautiously approached and picked me up with both hands, staring in amazement. "Put me back in the water, you fool!" I shouted. He screamed and dropped me again, but after a few seconds, he picked me up once more, his eyes wide with wonder. "You talk?" he asked, stunned. "You speak my language?" I asked in return. "Of course," he replied. Just then, the woman called out in their language. "That's my mother," he explained. "Please, put me back in the water now," I pleaded. "If I put you back in the pot, my mother might throw you out or worse," he said, thinking hard. "Hang on." He disappeared for a moment and returned with a glass bottle filled with water. Gently, he placed me inside. "There, now you're safe," he said, grinning. "Thank you," I whispered, peering through the glass. "By the way, my name is Lyra." "I'm Toby," he introduced himself. "How did you end up here?" I explained everything, how I had wandered too far, gotten lost, and accidentally ended up in his mother's water pot. "I need to get back home before my sister's wedding in 2 days. My father must have sent out a search party by now. If I can just get back to the river and sing our song, my people will find me." Toby scratched his head. "It's not that easy. Children aren't allowed near the river. The elders say mermaids kidnap kids and they never return." "That's nonsense. We don't kidnap anyone. We're harmless. Please, you have to help me." Toby hesitated, then grinned. "I've heard mermaids can grant wishes. If I help you, what will you give me in return?" "Anything you want," I promised. "I want to go to the land of the white men with my mother and siblings." I sighed. "I don't know if I can do that, but I'll try." Before we could talk further, his mother's voice called again. Toby quickly hid me under his pillow. "This is my room. Just stay here until I figure something out." Not long after he left, a little girl sneaked in, lifted the pillow, and froze. Her mouth opened wide in shock before she let out a piercing scream. "Sarah! Sarah!" she shouted. I shrank inside the bottle as footsteps rushed toward the room. An older girl entered. "What is it, Mara? Why are you yelling my name like that?" The little girl pointed at Toby's pillow. "There's a mermaid in a bottle under Toby's pillow." Sarah frowned. "You must be imagining things." "I swear I saw it," Mara insisted. Later that night, while everyone was asleep, Toby brought out the bottle. "Don't worry, Lyra. I promise I'll take you back tomorrow. Are you hungry? I saved some bread for you." Before I could respond, Sarah suddenly sat up in bed. "Who are you talking to?" she asked suspiciously. Toby stammered. Sarah grabbed the bottle and gasped. "You trapped a mermaid?" "No, I was trying to help her," he protested. "She talks?" "Yes," I said. Sarah yelped and almost dropped the bottle. "Calm down, Sarah. Lyra is harmless," Toby reassured her. She promised to grant me a wish in exchange for my help. What wish? Sarah asked, intrigued. To go to the white man's land. Sarah's eyes lit up. What about me? Can I have a wish too? I sighed. I can only grant one. Sarah thought for a moment. I want glass slippers. The next morning, Sarah and Toby sneaked out toward the river, but an old woman caught them. Where are you two going? She demanded. Children are forbidden near the river. Toby mumbled an excuse, and they quickly ran away. After making sure the woman was gone, they continued. When they reached the river, mermaid soldiers were already there, searching for me. Toby quickly uncorked the bottle and released me into the water. The soldiers were overjoyed to see me, but their commander pointed his sword at Toby and Sarah. Where did you take her? He demanded. They didn't take me anywhere. They helped me. I defended them. But the commander ignored me. He poured a mysterious potion onto Toby. To my horror, Toby melted into the water. No, I screamed as Sarah fled in terror. The soldiers collected the liquid remains of Toby and stored them in a drum. Back home, my family rejoiced at my return, but I was devastated. Father, Toby saved my life. He didn't deserve this, I pleaded, but my father was unmoved. Desperate, I grabbed a bottle of poison and threatened to drink it unless Toby was set free. Shocked, my father relented. Fine, release the boy. The commander opened the drum, and Toby slowly regained his form. To make amends, my father rewarded him with gold, jewels, and treasures. When we took him back to his family, his mother wept with joy. Years later, as I swam near the river, I heard someone calling my name. I rushed to the shore and saw a tall, handsome man. Toby, I gasped. He smiled. You guessed right. You look amazing. Where have you been? He grinned. Thanks to you, my wish came true.